No matter how you spin it, 2020 was horrible for a lot of us. Okay, I'm just gonna cut the sadness and say what during my own experience of quarantine during 2020, it let me check out some anime, and while some people decided to give One Piece a shot, I gave JoJo's Bizarre Adventure a shot. And if you clicked on this video, you know it's a redo video I done last year. And it's gonna be better in terms of audio quality and the fact that I'm in complete JoJo cosplay now. Now, just to get this done before another announcement relating to the series. So, let's go! For those who don't know, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is a popular manga series that started in Weekly's own Jump, and it concerns the Joestar family having to counter and deal with the supernatural, and it has become a very popular franchise. And you probably didn't pay too much attention to it until the 2012 anime came out and faithfully adapted the original manga. It's common. Now, I should note I'm mostly anime only, and I'm dressed as the most iconic JoJo, who just happens to be my favorite, and I can't really help becoming a fan. I mean, great characters and stories just bring me with their all craziness and uniqueness. Tensions that certain son from Hollywood who should really retire from filmmaking can't hope to replicate, and references to bands and singers that make me want to try and introduce the series to my mom since she'll go all those references. I mean, she is a classic rock fan. Also, just like the video I'm redoing, this is just mostly speculation about the future of the series. I'm still mostly anime only, and I would have finished the entire manga so far if there was a legal resource for me to read on the go, and it just had everything of JoJo up to date, because the one I'm using is just up to most of Stone Ocean, or just a little bit of Stone Ocean. Look, I just want to support the manga artists, and just, you gotta support the manga artists. Either way, that didn't stop me from buying a few video games related to the franchise, and secondhand fandoming the manga parts that have yet to be animated, so I'm exposed to for few spoilers or two that I'm not gonna mind reading or watching. I do indeed like the parts that have been animated so far, by the way. And that includes Stone Ocean so far. Speaking of which, now, knowing my lucks, the Stone Ocean anime probably released its last batch of episodes by the time this video is released, and while I won't be watching at a time either way, I will know the social media reaction and hope it doesn't, well, repeat what happened with me and Voltron in episode 9. Netflix does know Netflix jail is an insult for anime fans, not an excuse to get JoJo in the part where it takes place in the jail, right? If I ever describe Steelbone Run without mentioning how it appears to be a Wild West pseudo remake of Fanboy that just happens to include stamps, I would probably be risking myself being put on an FBI watch list, but it's nice seeing a disabled protagonist, even though I am a bit skeptical about some ableist things. JoJolion is essentially a pseudo-remake of Diamond is Unbreakable, but it wasn't really necessary to have another Josuke Hijasada. I mean, at least Johnny Joestar can be different enough from Jonathan, but really, another Josuke? I really hope they don't do the same with the fifth. A little something I'm gonna mention. However, it does seem the mangaka Hiroki Araki seems to be exploring some things he wanted to do in part 4 that he couldn't possibly thanks to the editors forcing him to end it early. Also, at least one thing I learned about what happens in that part makes me wonder how parts 4 and 5 would have gone if it weren't for the editorial department. Speaking of the most recent part of the JoJo manga, it ended last year, which is probably good timing since part 6 was finally getting animated, and if JoJolion was still ongoing when Steel Ball Run finally got animated, Aki would have some serious stress pressuring him to finish it up. However, when he ended JoJolion, he also announced that part 9, JoJolands. Now, I've heard he has some ideals for this part, but if he were just to cancel them and just end with part 8, I won't be too hard on him since if the death of the Berserk mangaka showed us anything, it's that the life of a mangaka can be really stressful and we should keep an eye on our health and well-being. But that won't stop me from doing my own speculation. So, let's jump into this. Now, I can't say this for sure, but I do know that I take anything that claims that the 9th JoJo has been established is just either clickbait or trolling, so I'm just gonna put this out there. I think it'd be really neat if JoJo number 9 is a lady.
But there are not enough JoJo names for girls. Female main protagonists in Sona series suck. There's no way Araki will make another Lady JoJo after the disaster was Yakamashi!
Look, there are plenty of Jo names for girls, even though Araki will have to improvise if he wants a more Japanese protagonist. Although he could just make Shizuka Joestar, that invisible baby from part 4 that Joseph adopted, make her the JoJo part 9, but we can't say that for sure since he might not be returning to the main continuity, and as the joke of the fan goes, he probably forgot about her and doesn't have the time to look up any previous notes about her, or at least the motivation to do so. And not every shonen series with a female main protagonist, regardless if they were published in Jump, isn't bad, and they've actually been quite as good as anything with a traditional male hero. Also, even though I'm gonna wait for the series to be completed to judge Jolie by my own standards, I still think she's a great protagonist and I want the best for her, and she is considered a milestone for female shonen protagonists. Even if the editors at the time might have had a problem with her, it may have pushed the series in a direction that some fans weren't happy about and probably should focus more on convincing Aoki to get Josuke and Giorno involved this part somehow. And heck, I can think of how that can work without demeaning Jolene's protagonist status. And you're looking at the version that doesn't involve Giorno dying. Not to mention, for some reason, I just can't seem to buy the I ran out of ideas excuse for that reset the universe ending.
Rohan Kashibe!
Huh, I wonder where that cough came from. But regardless, whether they live up to their potential as protagonists who try to be the very best they can be, or a good protagonist, even if their story did not go in the right direction in the end, or just had a good start in their series until the creators decided to waste that potential in favor of some stupid reasons. Either way, I think Araki Sensei should give himself another go as writing a female protagonist. I mean, if we can have more than one blonde JoJo and literally 2 JoJos with the exact same name and are called such, why not have another female JoJo? The best way you're gonna expect from her is that she be different enough from Jolene about personality and character design, and not to mention she not just be called JoJolion in her story, and is still a decent protagonist for a shonen story or a seinen story. Not to mention there will be this fun kind of joke if both the JoJos at part 6 and part 9 are ladies. Nice. Well, it seems that with how Steel Ball Run and JoJolion are pseudo remakes of previous parts, Part 9 JoJolands could be a pseudo remake something as well. But which part should it be? I mean, okay, who am I kidding? Come on, it's gonna be a pseudo remake of Stone Ocean. I mean, I'm not just saying this because I want to lead JoJo. It's just that I read that one fan comic about JoJolion is that it gave Aki a chance to explore things he wanted to touch upon in part 4, but couldn't because the editors forced him down that storyline earlier than he wanted to. So if there was anything he wished he would have done differently in Stone Ocean, including that ending, I heard that, in my opinion, seems like overkill, and it's basically everyone but one person who is not the title character dies, and said living person ruins the evil plan, and then ends up in a everybody lives alternative universe. No matter how you defend that ending, especially Yaki-sensei, I don't think that's a good ending for these characters that I connected with. But however, making that potential Part 9 a pseudo remake of Part 6 wouldn't be so bad. I even thinking about that number again. And I might be on the money since considering what this magazine cover for winter 2022 is suggesting. Well, I'm already gonna buy it anyway. One thing that could just be something out of the horse's mouth or just some fan theory about what to expect from a Part 9 would be that kind of involves a Part 0. You know, a sort of prequel to Phantom Blood that could explore things that supposedly lead to the beginnings of Dio causing problems for a family just because he hated them. Well, I'll only submit the dude has charisma. But not to mention, this could play out like a Shakespearean tragedy with stands and all that JoJo feel. Heck, we can even include the cross-dressing! If this may be true, I would prefer Part 0 to be its own manga, separate from Part 9, that's just long enough to get adapted into a single movie, assuming one of the investors doesn't die and their widow forces the animation company making the movie to refund the investment with interest, causing the end result of the movie to be so bad Araki had everything related burned with little pieces surviving so people know that it was a thing that happened and had to go to another animation studio for a proper adaptation. That was a bizarre story. But either way, the best we can hope for a Part 0 is that story within a story of Part 9 that's just on a diegetic level or something. But soon when we do end up with a Part 0 as our Part 9, we all might expect some changes to a certain ending, like JoJo Zero ends up becoming some sort of god who's mostly just minding their own business and occasionally checking on their descendants, and then that thing some fans have a problem with having, say, JoJo 9 will give up their godhood to fix it. What? I may have not seen the ending for myself and I am gonna see it animated. I can still judge it and have better reviews to keep me comfort. You know, like the ending to Eyes of Heaven and other fan comics. Let me have my fun. Now, I can assume that when a franchise is long running for a good time, fans can point out tropes that has invoked multiple times and they say how cliche they are, and any new part has a chance of being self-aware of these tropes and cliches. They may have a chance to poke fun of it, or just have some meta humor about them, or even subvert them. You know, if I actually allowed these videos to have clips about fear of copyright plots, you'd be seeing some clips from Power Rangers doing what I just said, or a few good clips of the Disney movies that do the same. Well, not bugging me too much about it is hopefully not a terrible live-action remake. Yada yada, they really need to stop doing those. Now, it might point out some tropes that may have become cliche in JoJo that I should probably support, or poke fun of some textual fans. Just one. I want a dog character that doesn't die. I mean, Araki has stated that dogs only get killed just to show off how evil some characters can be, but he did so often that it became cliche and some people don't seem to pay attention when Car sees a puppy, or the fact that there was that one dog in Part 4 who did not get killed. I think it was Kokichi's dog named Police. And, it'd just be nice to have another stand using dog like Gigi, but it gets to be one that I will get to see the end of the storyline in the JoJo. That part is like that one Brooklyn Nine-Nine meme with the puppy. It's always one hard canine away from going John Wick on everyone. That may sound weird, but that sometimes gets me to think that there should be werewolves in JoJo. I don't know if that should be a thing or not. Well, at least in Part 1. Above all, I think my biggest expectation is that I like the series continue being the awesome, entertaining collection of stories that it is. This series was mostly just something that existed in my Urban Otaku days, but I really wish it got back into it during those days, especially if Memphis Media would have more manga translated and published now. But how that checking the series out helped me survive a very dark time in a way, it kind of helped some creative sparks into me. So above all, thank you, JoJo. Domo arigatou gozaimasu, Araki-sensei. Look, I understand that you had to live so JoJo can live, and FF had to die for that purpose. However, that does not mean I'll think of you as a decent love interest for Jolene. And I don't like the fact that she seems willing enough to give you a chance. And I hate how you have an alternate universe counterpart who gets to be with her alternate universe counterpart. You're just a toxic simp who's in love with an ideal and not the person. And maybe, for the sake of my sanity, your pseudo-remake counterpart should either be a minor character who gets ignored, so evil that JoJo number 9 would not want anything to do with them, already related to this new JoJo by blood so they can't be together in that romantic sense, completely friend-zoned, or fridged. Fridged? Burger! Killed off for the sake of one character developing! Now, that was a relief myself. I just really hated that character. Oh, and for anyone who asks, yes, I am playing JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R. And do I have any expectations for who I want to be part of the DLC roster? Well, I guess I just put JoJo number 9 in, but I put them in the Sora tier, as in there are a lot of factors on why it's impossible to happen, but it's gonna be awesome if it does happen. Now, I probably might do my own reaction for when the JoJo number 9 gets announced and how I feel, and maybe I might read the first few manga chapters as a bit of review. Either way, I hope you all have a nice time, stay safe out there, keep circulating links, and like, comment, subscribe, all that. You guys will have a good day.